Jake Paul versus Ben Askren could best be described as Fire Festival 2021. I can best be described as one of the dumb white kids that got gypped. The only thing saving my ego from complete destruction is the fact that I did not pay for this event. I fucking made money off of this shit. At first I thought Ben Askren had it in the bag being a fucking Olympian. Once I caught a video of him talking about his recent hip surgery, I was like, this is not gonna end well. I also bought into those fucking stupid arguments that Ben Askren's chin's been punched by 300 men with 2-ounce gloves, and that should indicate that Jake Paul's gonna hit him with everything he's got and Ben's just gonna sit there and eat it like Homer Simpson. Well, that's not how it works. All the shots that Ben took during his MMA career only contributed to the knockout that we saw yesterday. And speaking of the knockout, why in the fuck did the ref stop that fight? Askren didn't even get knocked out, he got knocked down. The fight before, the guy was crying on the fetal position for like 5 minutes about a nut shot that didn't happen, and the ref waited till the last possible second to call it. Ben was hands up ready to go, but the ref was like, sorry, if I let you win somehow, I'm gonna have to go back to reffing street beefs. And he fucking called it. It was absolutely rigged in Jake's favor. There's not a doubt in my goddamn mind that Jake had a 99% chance plus of beating him after that right hook. But so did Lawler. The Trilla Fight Club was not about to take no 1% chance, bro. People don't understand how many super fights Jake Paul can make calling out these wrestlers and basketball players. Once he's 20-0, he'll be able to create an entirely new playlist of super fights with people who can actually punch. And even then, he's just gonna call out lightweight MMA fighters like fucking McGregor and Diaz. And that's just because he weighs 20 pounds more than them. He's probably going to knock them all out because they're going to be fucking old and past their prime. It really just shows how badass his big brother is in comparison to him. On one side, you got Jake Paul knocking out retired wrestlers. And on the other side, you got Logan Paul fighting one of the greatest boxers of all time. I mean, come on. Logan's probably going to look worse than Askren against Floyd. So you got to respect him for taking that impossible challenge. Jake Paul, on the other hand, is just going to autism strength his way through a long list of duds. Everyone's going to throw up cash for it because it's a fucking Prodigy story. They don't even need to give a shit about production. It's like they made a giant list of celebrities, pinned that shit to the wall, and started throwing darts at it. And wherever a dart landed, well, that's the talent. And as far as fight commentary goes, they just skipped that. Just gave a microphone to Snoop Dogg and his gang of who the fuck knows who. The Mexican dude was on like 2.5 bags of mushrooms.
The real deal, he's the USSA, baby. Well, he was a part of the Navy for 4 years, so he's not the USSR. Nice.
Snoop Dogg was on like 600 blunts.
Get my money, Jake! Get my motherfucking 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 money, Jake! Get me my motherfucking money, Jake! Finish him! Finish him! Finish him! Finish him!
Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. This whole show was just them getting fucked up and occasionally throwing in a fight or a concert. It honestly looked incredibly fun to be at. But since I wasn't the one puffing on Snoop's blunts, it really started to drag on. Pete Davidson, of all people, actually came in with some pretty funny jokes. Usually I think he sucks ass, but he really came with the heat for this one.
Seatbelts, here we go.
About to come! Oh, it's about to go down.
Almost every time he was on camera, he was shitting on the event and savagely. And even went into Ben Askren's locker room where Ben sat by himself just to give him some encouragement. It might have been scripted, but in my opinion, it was the realest moment of the night. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough though, because old Benny Boy got TKO'd, which is only going to blast the Jake Paul hype train further into the atmosphere. But it's also really awesome, because until Jake Paul actually picks a fight that he might lose, there's literally no reason that I'd waste my time watching his fights anymore. I'm just gonna go on my betting app and make a fuck ton of money betting on Jake while he knocks out fucking Tom Brady or something. All I can say is that I'm grateful that I was fortunate enough to have a UFC fight on a second screen next to this one, because this was a fucking travesty.